Today we're gonna make macaronia mikima, the Greek version of pasta and meat sauce. A big crowd pleaser in my house. I'm Nikki Gleckis and this is Nikki's Modern Mediterranean. To get started, you're gonna boil 1 pound of your favorite pasta. I like to use linguine because I like thicker noodles, but you could use spaghetti as well if you like. So you're just gonna cook that like you normally would cook pasta, and we're gonna get started with our meat sauce. 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and this is the same recipe that I've used in previous episode for my pasticcio recipe. It's the same way of making the kima. So we're gonna take our 1 chopped onion, saute that in our olive oil. Next, we're gonna add in our ground beef, 2 pounds of ground beef to our onions. This meat mixture is very common that we use in pasticcio, like I said. This is for our macaroni mikima that we're making now, as well as when you're gonna use the same mixture when you make moussaka. So, being in the restaurant business, my kids know that this was something that we would make a big batch of in the restaurant and we would use it for several recipes. This happens to be all of my kids' favorite dish, and they all love when we make this. And it's great because it's a pretty easy, hearty recipe for the kids to eat, and they all enjoyed it even when they were little kids. So when Nicholas was about 5 years old, we went to Greece, and he said that he was gonna do a macaronia mikima challenge. He was gonna order it at every restaurant that we went to in Greece, and he was gonna rate which restaurant had the best one. So being summertime, not every restaurant had this on the menu, but being a pretty smart kid, being raised in a restaurant, he used to say to them, but if you have moussaka or pasticcio on the menu, don't you have kima in the kitchen? Which is true, they do. So he would ask if they would make some pasta and put a little kima on top, which is our meat. So he would get it at every restaurant and he would always rate which one had the best. I can't really remember which place had it, but it was pretty funny to see a little 5-year-old order it at every restaurant. Now that our meat is completely cooked, we're gonna add in our spices. We're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon pepper, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 2 cinnamon sticks. And we're gonna saute that again. Next, we're gonna move our meat to the one side. And we're gonna flambe cognac or brandy, whatever you have, a shot of that. Cook off all that alcohol, about 3 to 5 minutes. Next, we're gonna do 6 ounces of tomato paste. Just dilute that into there. After you put your tomato paste, you want to make sure that we're gonna cover the meat with enough water to cover it so that we can let it simmer. So I'm gonna add a little bit just to make sure that I get the tomato paste all over the meat. So we have enough water here to cover our meat. And we're gonna cover this and put it on low to simmer for about 45 minutes. So our meat sauce is ready, our pasta is ready. Our next step is we're gonna melt a tablespoon of Vitan Soft, which is a Greek vegetable butter, also called margarine. So if you don't have this, you can use margarine as well. So we're gonna melt this and pour this on top of our pasta, toss it in before we put our meat sauce on top. So we have our melted margarine here, Greek vegetable margarine. I'm pouring this on top of our pasta and I'm gonna toss this in. It's gonna give it extra flavor before we add our meat on top. This is such a great hearty winter dish that you can make for the whole family. So once we have that tossed in, next we're gonna take our delicious meat sauce here. And I'm gonna pile this meat sauce right in the middle. Smells so good. This smells delicious. When my kids come home and they smell this, they're gonna be pretty excited that this is what we have for dinner. This is a crowd pleaser in my house. And next we're gonna add our cheese. So for this, we're gonna use a Greek cheese called Mizithra, which is sheep and goat milk based cheese, hard, a little salty, and a little bit, it's a little dry, but it gives such a great flavor to this. So we're gonna add that right on top of this. Look at that, it's gonna melt right in. So usually I'll sprinkle this on top, just like this, and then I'll serve the rest of this on my family's dinner table. This dish is all ready. Today we're making pasta with sausage and Brussels, a favorite family weeknight meal. I'm Nikki Kleckis, and this is Nikki's Modern Mediterranean. To get started on making our pasta with sausage and Brussels, we're gonna first cook our Brussels sprouts. So I have 1 pound of Brussels that I've cleaned and cut in half, put them into a little mixing bowl. We're just gonna add olive oil, salt and pepper, so that we can roast these while we are cooking our sausage and pasta. So we'll give this a little toss. Put that right on our baking sheet. Lay them out. We're gonna put these in the oven. While our Brussels sprouts are cooking, I have some water up to boil, and you're gonna cook 1 pound of your favorite short pasta. You can use penne, rigatoni, I'm using orecchiette. So while that's cooking, we're gonna get ready with our sausage. So we're gonna use 4 sausage links, and you can use sweet or spicy. I like to mix 2 sweet, 2 spicy. So we're gonna decase these before we cook them. So we're gonna take our sausage links, and we're just gonna cut down center, pretty easy, and we're gonna take off the casing of this. So I started making this recipe a couple years ago. I was trying to find all really colorful recipes to match for the holidays. So I really love this because we're adding the pesto and it gives it the green color. But my family ended up loving it so much, and it's so hard to find recipes that all your kids will eat, and they get, protein and the vegetable in this. So now it's a family favorite, and I make it all year long. But this is a really easy recipe because I'm using a store-bought pesto. You're just using your favorite pasta, and you just have a little bit of prep time, and then you're just going to mix all the ingredients together, and you're gonna have a delicious dish. So now I've decased the sausage, so that's easy. I'm just gonna give it a little chop too and put it in this pan right here. This dish. So we're gonna go over to the stove and cook this with a little olive oil and garlic. So to cook our sausage, we're gonna put medium to high heat with 2 tablespoons of olive oil on our pan. And you can make this while your pasta and your Brussels sprouts are getting ready. And we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. Just let this cook for just a minute. Next, we're ready to add in our sausage. So our sausage has this beautiful brown color, which means it's almost ready. So we have all of our elements ready to assemble our pasta. Our pasta is right here and cooked. Our Brussels sprouts are golden brown, and so is our sausage. So here's our serving bowl, super easy. We're just gonna take our pasta, put that right in our serving bowl. Next, I'm gonna take our sausage, and I'm gonna scrape everything, olive oil, the garlic, the sausage, right into this bowl. Next, our Brussels, which are so pretty. Look at this green color now. Nice golden brown Brussels sprouts. You're making these for your kids. They're getting their veggies in. So we have our ingredients all in there, and now we're gonna mix it with pesto. And I'm just using store-bought pesto, 1 jar. I'm gonna put this kind of dollop it all over the place a little because I'm gonna mix it all together. And again, this is a great dinner recipe that you can make in probably 30 minutes at home, any night of the week, or make it for holiday. So we're gonna mix this all together. Get the pesto on all of the pasta. Look at that, beautiful. You can do some Parmesan on top to serve. But this pasta looks amazing. Deliciousness in this. Okay, looks ready to go. Today we're gonna make a twist on the popular BLT sandwich. It's a BLT pasta salad, and it is to die for. To get started on our BLT pasta salad, we're gonna first start with pasta. So I have cooked here 1 pound of bow tie pasta. It's cooked, drained, and I'm gonna add that right into our mixing bowl. And next, gotta do our BLT, so our bacon, lettuce, and tomato. So I have 1 romaine lettuce that I'm going to, I cut on all sides here so that it's easier to really chop it up. So I wanna finely chop this. And this salad is, I make this all summer long because it's so easy for me to make it ahead of time before people come over, stick it in the fridge, and it's always a crowd pleaser. Everybody loves bacon, lettuce, and tomato. So this is a really easy dish and very filling. So we're gonna chop up our lettuce, add that right to our bowl. Next, our tomatoes. So I have 2 cups of grape tomatoes here, cherry tomatoes, and you're gonna cut these right in 4 and add those to the bowl. And next, we're gonna do the bacon. So I have cooked 1 pack of bacon, nice and crispy, and I have reserved the bacon fat right here because we're gonna add that to our dressing later. So I have our crispy bacon. Just put this right down here. And we're gonna give that a nice chop and add it to our pasta. Add that. Next, I'm gonna add a half chopped shallot. And this just adds a little bit of more flavor to our dish. Add the shallot right on top. Perfect. And now we can get started on our dressing. So for our dressing, we're gonna start with olive oil. We're gonna do 3 tablespoons of olive oil. We're gonna do 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard and 1 teaspoon of our bacon fat from our cooked bacon. This is gonna add nice flavor to it. And next, mayo. Have to have mayo with our bacon, lettuce, and tomato, right? So we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of mayo. And next we're gonna do our salt and pepper. So I'm just gonna do a half a teaspoon of salt, because there's a lot of salt in our bacon fat, so we don't need a lot. And we're gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And next, our lemon. So we're gonna do some fresh lemon juice. Squeeze half a lemon into this. And I'm also going to zest the other half of the lemon. So now we have all our ingredients into our dressing, and we're gonna whisk this completely together, and it's gonna make a nice creamy dressing to go on top of our pasta. Perfect. So now we're gonna take our pasta salad, and I'm gonna give that a little toss first. Look at this, delicious. Nice, colorful. And this is a nice hearty dish as well. So we're gonna put this, give that a little toss of the ingredients, and we're gonna pour our dressing on top. Let that soak all into the pasta and our veggies. And so this dish is ready. For the full recipe, visit nikkigleckis.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.